All right, welcome everybody to the Best Damn Baseball Show here on Best Damn Sports. I'm Ash, your host. I'm going to be giving some baseball thoughts from the weekend as the Sunday night games finish up and the weekend has come to a conclusion. I just wanted to hit first. If you saw my video last night, I kind of went on a rant a little bit about the Atlanta Braves and the state of affairs. This today was no better. The Atlanta Braves were swept this weekend by the San Francisco Giants. They are now 0-10 on the season versus the National League West. Spencer Strider went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, only 3 earned, 5 Ks, 3 walks, and 4 hits. So he, not a terrible outing for Spencer Strider, but the Braves were unable to do anything to get a win. Lost in all the fuss lately, though. Bryce Elder has looked pretty damn good. He had 12 Ks yesterday, only gave up 1 run in 8 innings. So Bryce Elder has actually looked really good of late. In his last 8 starts, they've all been very solid, and he's not given up more than 3 runs in a start since April the 18th. So that's a pretty good run of starts there for Bryce Elder. Had to hit some positive notes just because of the way I went on a rant last night. But right now, the Braves are sitting at 27-37 overall and are 14 games back in the National League East. Not a great state of affairs for the Atlanta Braves. But moving right along, I was at the Cincinnati Reds and Arizona Diamondbacks game today. The Reds were able to complete the sweep of the Diamondbacks and win their third game in a row, obviously, with a 4-2 win coming on the backs of Matt McClain's 2-run homer off of Zach Gallen. CES Encarnacion Strand had hit a home run for the third consecutive game. So he is definitely playing very well. Made a really nice diving stab at third base early in the game, but it was a foul ball. But it was a great play, even though it didn't count for anything other than making the entire crowd cheer. It was a really nice diving stab. The thing I want to say about this game is what on earth was Arizona thinking? Zach Gallen, there was a rain delay in the fourth inning. Zach Gallen came back out. He pitched through 6 innings really well, but then came out for the seventh inning where he gave up that 2-run homer to Matt McClain. Zach Gallen has really struggled on the season. So if they were to just have taken him out after those 6 innings, you would have been able to chalk this one up as a pretty good outing and consecutive outings in a row where Zach Gallen didn't look too bad. And it would have been some positive momentum for Zach Gallen. So I don't know why they ran him back out there in the seventh inning. Honestly, I was surprised that he came back out after the rain delay because typically managers don't tend to do that. They usually take a starter out after a rain delay. Granted, it wasn't a super long one, as it was kind of a flash, shower that started real hard, and didn't last too long. But still, usually you're not going to see a pitcher come in and pitch, a couple more, 3 more innings after that. It was really bizarre. So I wish Zach Gallen could have ended after the 6th inning and had a pretty solid start and some positive mindset for that next one out there. I just think that it was a shame that he had to be rushed back out there for the seventh and then gave up the 2-run homer to Matt McClain, who really needed some positive energy himself. I'm glad to see that he had that home run, which was the decisive hit in the game. And the Cincinnati Reds are back to 500 on the season. So some positive signs in Cincinnati. Things might be turning around for them. In the nightcap tonight, we had the Boston Red Sox and the New York Yankees. And I can't even go into this game despite, Boston won 11-7. So it was a big win for the Red Sox, who have kind of been scuffling the last month or so. So they needed that win. But Hunter Dobbins, what about this guy? Making some extreme comments to the media about how if the Yankees were the last team to offer him a contract, he would rather retire. And you're getting ready to go into the Bronx. So I am really shocked that he made these comments. And then Jazz Chisholm, who just came off the IL here in the last week, had these comments to say in response. I think there should be more trash talk in baseball. Anyone agrees? Anyway, free smoke at 7. I actually agree with Jazz 100%. We need more villains in the sport of baseball. We need some colorful characters, and we need some rivalries that have some like actual hatred going on. So, like, good on you, Hunter Dobbins. He backed up the comments with a solid start, not great, but solid. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits allowed, no walks, and gave up 3 runs in the performance. So it was a solid, not spectacular outing. At least he didn't go in there and then get blown up. He did give up a home run to Aaron Judge in the game, who hit his 22nd home run of the year. One of the things I want to highlight on this Yankees squad, though, is Paul Goldschmidt. How great is it to see the type of season that he is out there having? He's got his slash line up to 314, 371, and with a 466 slug. His weighted runs created plus is sitting at 136. So above a 36% above league average as a hitter right now. I just think it's really cool to see that because he had been kind of scuffling there in St. Louis in the last couple of years. If you were to look at he's already outperformed last year in terms of wins above replacement. Last year, his WAR was 1.1. He's already achieved 1.6 this year. And we're only, and that's not counting tonight. So that's only 37 games into the season. He's done it on the backs of cutting down his strikeouts. I mean, last year he struck out 26% of the time, and this year he's down to 17.6. So that's a pretty dramatic increase. And I'm happy to see Paul Goldschmidt doing this at age 37, kind of reminiscent of Joey Votto, how he all of a sudden, after everybody started talking about how he was declining and people were starting to count him out. And then he had a big year. I forget what year it was exactly, but if you want to go back and check his career stat line out, there was a year about 4 or 5 years ago where all of a sudden he bounced back and was able to kind of revitalize his career, and it was just a fun story. So Paul Goldschmidt, good on you, the former Missoula Osprey in the minor leagues, hitting with a really good season so far. Another storyline that I wanted to talk about is the Miami Marlins. They did win 3-2 over Tampa today, but that's not really why I wanted to bring the Marlins up. The story is all about tomorrow. Tomorrow is Yuri Perez Day. Guys, we need to celebrate Yuri Perez Day tomorrow. This guy is coming back from Tommy John surgery, was out all last year. And I think that people are forgetting what Yuri Perez was thought of just a couple of years ago. Entering 2023, this is a guy that was a top 10 prospect, was kind of seen on par as like a Paul Skenes, who we'll get to later. Don't worry. In 2023, when he made his debut, he ended up that season striking guys out 10.64 strikeouts per 9 innings with a 3.15 ERA in his debut season in Miami. I mean, Yuri Perez is a freaking stud. He's an ace of aces. We thought that he would be on par with a guy like Paul Skenes, and that's no hyperbole. Yuri Perez is a star, and tomorrow is going to be amazing to see him back out there on the hill for the Marlins. And speaking, I mean, he was ranked ahead of James Wood, Jackson Merrill, Pete Crow Armstrong, and the list goes on and on. So Yuri Perez has always been thought of as a blue chip, upper tier, elite type of athlete and player, and he is definitely going to be a Cy Young candidate in the future for his career. So Yuri Perez is a huge piece back for the Marlins. And speaking of the Marlins, they have the workings of a really good rotation. Sandy Alcantara, he had kind of a good bounce back outing this week, which was nice to see in his recovery from his Tommy John surgery. Early in the season, it's been a little bit of a struggle, but the positive there for Sandy is that his velocity is looking good. He just needs to kind of fine tune some things, which can happen when you're out for a prolonged period over a year like that. So I do not think that there's going to be any concerns long term with Sandy, and he's going to bounce back. You're going to have 2 guys at the start of that rotation that are aces. I mean, you're going to have Sandy and Yuri Perez, 1 and 2, whichever order you want to put them in. And then Ryan Weathers is looking good, being your third starter. Edward Cabrera, a four starter, he's been looking good, a sub-4 ERA on the season, maybe walks a few too many, but man, that stuff that Edward Cabrera has is electric. And then you've got Max Meyer, who's on the injured list. But if he's your fifth starter, that's a good rotation. The Marlins have some positive signs in that regard. And we may have to do a separate video just on the Marlins. Final game I want to talk about from today is the Pittsburgh Pirates beat the Philadelphia Phillies to sweep the Phillies today, 2-1 on the afternoon. That was the pitching performance matchup of the day, of the entire weekend. You had Paul Skenes facing off against Christopher Sanchez. Skenes went 7 2/3, 2 hits allowed, 1 walk, struck out 7 and no runs. I mean, how about that day for Paul Skenes? And then Christopher Sanchez, 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 earned runs, and 9 Ks. So he didn't falter on his end of the deal either. I mean, this was an elite pitching matchup, and it was one that I was excited to track today. But the thing I want to bring up about the Pittsburgh Pirates is they are not trading Paul Skenes. Say it with me. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not trading Paul Skenes. I keep seeing this come up on social media. And then today on my drive back from Cincinnati, I live about an hour and 15 minutes from the ballpark. Like I said earlier, I went to that game today for the Reds. But on my way home, I'm listening to MLB radio, and one of the hosts is talking about how the Pittsburgh Pirates owe it to baseball to make a trade and deal Paul Skenes away. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? This guy is what you want to develop. You hope if you trade him for prospects, you're never going to get a Paul Skenes back. This is only his second year. They've got 4 years of control. 4 years. You're not giving that up. I'm sorry. And people want to be hating on the Pirates, but you have to think about the Pirates fans too. There's a lot of people that are very loyal Pirates fans that go to games. They get really good TV ratings in their market. So, I mean, how loyal do you have to be a Pittsburgh Pirates fan after 2 decades of just nothing? One playoff performance with Andrew McCutchen in the 20 teens. I don't remember the year, but it was like 2013, 14 or 15, something like that, when McCutchen won the MVP. The Pittsburgh Pirates are not trading him. Think about this rotation. You've got Skenes. You're going to get Jared Jones back next year. You're going to have Bubba Chandler more than likely up before the end of this year. So those 3 guys could be an elite 1, 2, 3. And then you're going to have Oviedo coming back later here in the next few months, who could be a solid back end rotation guy. If he's your 4-5, that is playable. That plays. So quit this nonsense about trading Paul Skenes. They just need to build up some bats around this rotation that's developing, and they will be fine and be able to compete in a very difficult NL Central, which has been really good this year. So I just think it's odd that so many people are wanting a team to just deal away a franchise generational talent like that. I get that you want to see him in the playoffs, but next year the Pirates could be in contention for the playoffs with that rotation that I just mentioned. Think about that. Thanks, guys, and check us out later. If this is your first time watching, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and please hit the like button on the video below and leave us comments on your thoughts. Should the Pirates trade Paul Skenes? Later, guys.